Really?
Just went.
Oh, my UT Chattanooga to the first round. Hey, where is...
How about that? And we wasted our time watching him thinking he'd be at 104 maybe.
Look, when you win the Super Bowl and you have coined the phrase F them picks, you can get them jokes off.
Yeah.
But everybody was scratching their head at the Cole Strange pick. It was, needless to say, strange. But it's not, though.
It is.
A guard out of Tennessee, Chattanooga. No, it's not because of who it was. It was very Patriot-like. So in that respect, it wasn't. It was like typical Patriots.
I'm going to say it wasn't typical Patriots. I'm going to say this was, as I said before.
I can't believe you're going to repeat it.
We were going out there. It was the worst decision. It was the worst decision. Because think about it, Mike.
Expound on that.
Think about this. Okay. And this is why I hate when, I just can't stand when teams just totally screw this whole thing up and overthink it. All right. The Patriots moved down from 21 to 29. It was a good trade. Good players on the board, players I liked on the board, but they moved down from 21 to 29, and the chart says you should get a third-round pick out of that. They got a third and a fourth out of that trade. Kansas City had multiple picks, didn't want to use them all, so Andy Reid and Bill Belichick, they have a history of making deals. That was an easy deal to make. So you're sitting there at 29, and you tell yourself you need a guard. That's fine. You mean to tell me that the best player on your board is Cole Strange? I bet you he's not even in the top 5 of the remaining players on the board. And if he is in your top 5 of remaining players on your board, you need to just trade away all of your picks because you don't know what you're doing. You could make a pick at 29 and then come back and get Cole Strange. This is how I know I'm right.
Well, that's what. Yeah.
This is how I know I'm right.
No, I'm really interested.
Not just the fact that certain people had him ranked 77th, certain people had him ranked 85th. The LA Rams joke, there's truth in every joke, thinking they have a chance to get him at 104. That's pretty much his range. Let's say it's late second round. Most people have him as a third rounder. I'm gonna reject that and say he's a second round pick. Let's say he's a second round pick. Nobody was checking for Cole last night. The Patriots didn't pick him last night. He wasn't going last night. No, he was not going to go last night, Michael.
Can I ask you a question?
I know this. How do I know?
How do I know?
Okay, I don't. Okay,
do you know? I'm serious.
Do I know it for a fact? No.
Okay, well then.
Yeah. Do I know it for a fact? I know it for a fact?
Okay.
I don't know it for a fact, but this is what I know. He's not the best available player for the New England Patriots. I know that. I know he's not
Based
the top.
on what?
I know he's not the top player on their board.
Okay, so I'm asking you again. You don't have to reveal your sources, but
it's not a source.
You know he's not the top.
It's not a source.
But you know he's not the top player on the board.
Sense.
You've seen their board?
I have not seen their board.
No, it's not common sense.
I haven't seen their board.
Well, if you haven't seen their board, you can't say
Michael
he's
Smith,
not the.
Do you think Cole Strange? Tell me. Yes
I don't know.
I know you don't know. I know you don't know.
So don't ask me the question.
But you're doing this show. There's a lot you don't know that you talk about on this show.
But I'm not acting like I know it all.
Okay, give me your opinion.
Therein lies the difference between me and you.
Give me your opinion. Do you think that Cole Strange was the best player? Your opinion,
That's not
Michael.
an opinion. I don't know. In my opinion, is this a nice jacket?
Do you think?
That's subjective. You're asking me to speculate on a fact that I have no way of knowing.
Can you speculate? Do you think,
what a shitty question.
In your professional opinion, covering the NFL as long as you have, do you think Cole Strange from UT Chattanooga, who's a meme today, who's a punchline today, do you think that he was the top player on the New England Patriots board?
The joke is your commentary.
Okay.
Do I think he was the top player on their board? I don't know. And I'm not going to be forced in guessing. It's not a guessing game for them. You can say, oh, my God, all you want. You're asking a dumbass question. You want me to give you a dumbass answer?
No, it's not a dumb question.
It is a dumb question.
Michael,
do I think he was the top player on the board? How am I supposed to know that?
With all respect,
you want to guess? That's on you.
Mike,
I choose to do it differently.
Mike,
I choose to do it differently. It's not common sense.
Okay.
It's not common sense.
Do you think it's warmer?
Ask a better question.
Do you think it's warmer? No, stop it. No.
If my answers
get
scare
off
you,
your high horse.
if my answers
Get off
frighten
your
you,
high
you
horse.
should cease asking
Get
scary
off
questions.
your high horse, because with all respect,
Ask me, do I think it was a good pick?
There are many.
Ask me that
No,
question.
I'm not going to ask you that.
That's a better question.
No.
Ask me that question.
No. The question I asked you was a good question.
No, it wasn't.
You just don't want to answer
No,
it.
it was a bad question.
Because you know it's not a bad question.
It was a bad question.
Look, Mike, with
Do
all
I
respect,
think he was a top player on their board? How the hell should I know?
Okay.
I'm asking you because I have enough respect for you and your connections to that
no.
organization to assume that if you're going to speak with that kind of authority,
Yes.
that you must be plugged in. That's why I asked the question the way I did.
I'm not even going to waste my time asking the New England Patriots if Cole Strange is the best player on the board, because I know he wasn't.
So why did they take him?
I know he wasn't.
So why did they
Because
take
they're
him?
stupid. They were stupid yesterday.
Okay.
That was a stupid decision by Bill Belichick and Matt Groh and everybody who made that decision. That was dumb.
Okay.
That was a dumb thing to do, because you had enough capital if you're really feeling Cole Strange. See, what the logic I don't like is, well, we don't take him at 29. We don't know if we're going to get him on the other side. So what?
Okay.
You can't get everybody. It's only one pick at a time. So sometimes you pick a player. You got to make a decision. Is he the best player we can pick? If he's not the best player we can pick, we probably shouldn't pick him.
I mean, setting aside. So I got so many problems with this.
I got a problem. Let me finish this. Let me finish this.
Wait, didn't somebody do this? It's my turn.
No. It's not, no, I didn't say my turn. I never got a chance.
I'm not saying you saying that. You never seen the person do that? You know,
No.
a colleague of ours has done that.
I've got to respond to this.
A media colleague has done that. It's my turn. Remember?
I got to respond
No, you
to
ever
this.
seen that? No? Okay.
Y'all
saw it. Y'all saw it. Y'all know what I'm talking
You
about.
talk about a lot of things on Brother from Another, 3 to 5,
Yep.
Peacock TV, YouTube, Sirius XM, Channel 85. You talk about a lot of things on this show with authority that you don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty much the game.
I didn't say I can't have an opinion.
That's pretty much the
I've
game.
had an opinion at the highest level for 20 years. You don't have to tell me how to do my job.
Okay.
I know how to have an opinion.
Okay.
You asked me, do I think that he
that's
was
a
the best
question.
player
Do you
on
think-
the board?
Do you think it's warm out here?
That's
Do you think that's a nice
subjective.
building?
That's subjective.
You think that building
Do you
took
know
a lot
the
of time to
definition of
build?
the word subjective? Okay?
Yeah.
So there's objective fact and there's subjective. Do I think he was the best player on the board? I have no idea of knowing that. If you ask me if I think it was a good pick, that's a different question. You can look off into space all you want. You're asking a shitty question.
No, I'm not.
And you want me to justify your shitty question with an answer.
No, your response is
man.
lame.
No,
It's
no,
lame.
your question is lame.
It's lame,
Your line of thinking is
Michael.
lame.
No, it's not.
Your entire line of
Michael,
thinking is lame.
Michael, you know.
I can't believe I'm talking. I don't even know you anymore.
Do I think?
I don't even know you anymore. I have so much respect for you and your reporting and your knowledge about this process.
This doesn't need reporting.
Hold on. You have a best-selling book called War Room.
Several.
I'm talking about the one about the draft in particular. Okay? I
Yeah.
can give you your flowers. I don't need your help.
Okay.
I am telling you how much respect I have for you, which is why it's so disappointing to hear you sound like some dumbass that don't know how the draft process works.
Listen, I know how the draft process works, which is why I'm
and then to
confident.
ask me,
Which is why
do I think he was the best player on their board?
Which is why I'm confident in saying what I'm saying, how I'm saying it, and I've got no regrets. I don't want to take back. I don't want to take back a single thing
You
I
don't
said.
have to.
I could say
You
more.
don't have to.
It was so wrongheaded for the Patriots to do this, because at 29,
You sound like a random fan.
and not random. This is
You sound like somebody that would call into your old radio show right now.
Fine. And guess what? If they said that today, props to them. They're making sense. Do you think Aiden Hutchinson was the top player on Detroit's board? I don't know.
I don't.
I don't know that.
I don't. You got jokes, but again, the joke is your commentary. It's so poorly thought out.
Michael.
Honestly, I can't
Take
even
a stand.
I can't even take a stand. You know what? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna let you pull me into it. Okay?
Yes, I am. I'm gonna pull you into it.
No, don't pull me
I'm
into
gonna
it
get you
because
into it.
I don't want to say something that's gonna hurt your feelings.
No, go ahead.
So,
Hey, listen,
I don't want your feelings. I don't want your feelings. I don't want your feelings.
I've been married for 15 years. I got 3
No,
kids.
I
My
don't-
feelings have been hurt
I don't want your
many
feelings.
times.
I don't
I've been in
want
this
your
business
feelings.
for a long time.
I don't want your feelings. I'll just tell
Hey,
you.
listen,
I'll just say.
I go on Twitter. I get my feelings hurt all the time.
Here's how I feel about the draft in general. If you have a player that you want, that you covet, that is high on your board, you take him no matter what every other organization in the league thinks about that player.
So he's high on their board?
The Patriots board, historically speaking, and my esteemed colleague knows this, is oftentimes much different than the Rams board or the Packers board.
Right.
The Patriots don't draft according to mock drafts. My esteemed colleague has spent the last several weeks railing against the expectations, the false expectations that drafts set for fans. So, and I'm quoting, when the draft doesn't go the way you expect it, we call them reaches. And we say, what are they doing? Because nobody had Cole Strange from UT Chattanooga in their mock drafts.
No.
So all of a sudden,
But
the team must have done something wrong because we didn't see it coming.
Okay.
Is he the best player on their board? A, I have no way of knowing. B, I'm going to assume that he is, but because if he wasn't, that's problematic. So
yes.
hey, here's a homework assignment.
Right.
Tap into your sources with the Patriots and come back and tell me if he wasn't the best player on their board. Then you can tell me.
I know he wasn't.
And then I'll be like, no, you don't know.
I do know that. I do know that. I know that. I know that. I know that. I know that he wasn't. I know that. I know that. I know that. I know. I just
Do
know.
you know what the
as you-
definition of no means?
As you said.
Again, you got to tell me who you talk
listen,
to.
It's not about talking to. I know how they do business. I know their grading system. I know how they grade offensive linemen. I know.
Okay, fine. You know
that he was
know,
not.
You know that he wasn't their top player. Okay, I'll entertain that. The government will stipulate. Do you know that he's not going to be a good player?
I didn't
Does
say
that
that.
matter? No. That was a rhetorical question.
No.
That was you didn't,
I don't know
You
that.
didn't say.
No,
it.
I did not say anything about it.
So that is my first problem with this.
I didn't say he was a bad player. I said I was very careful to say decision.
I didn't say that you said that. I'm saying that my major problem with this, my major problem with your commentary is that what if he ends up being good? Now, you could still speculate or guess that they could have gotten him later. But hypothetically speaking, just indulge me. What if they couldn't have or didn't feel they couldn't have and didn't want to lose him, and he turns out to be Logan Mankins? Then does that still make it a bad decision?
Well, listen. Yes. Because you have to look at what you could have gotten. You have to look at everything that could have been. It's got to be in context. It's not in a vacuum. Cole Strange is not in a vacuum. So Cole Strange at 29 is part of the story. Look, I intentionally said it was a good trade with Kansas City, third and fourth round picks, because you've got the capital. If you're afraid of him, if you're afraid of losing him, and you're picking 54th in the second round, so it becomes a math game. I'm going to pick Cole Strange at 29. Can I survive 25 more slots? Well, I don't really have to survive 29 more slots because we think, because this is what draft analysis is. You got to speculate. It's like playing the stock market. You don't know, but you're figuring it out. We think he's going to last through the night. If we don't take him at 29, we don't think he's going to go on Thursday night.
You know what you're guessing based on, though?
But I'm saying, this is how they do it in the draft room.
No, I know.
They don't know anything either. They're guessing.
No. Here's the difference between them and you. They're making informed guesses. I'll ask you again. Are you basing this on any information about what they could have, should have, or would have gotten?
I'm basing this
I like
on,
to live in facts. If you want to base your entire thing on hypotheticals, be my guest.
It's not a hypothetical.
No, it is.
It's not.
You're saying what you could have gotten, what you could have done. How do you know they could have done that?
How do I know they could have gotten something else?
How do you know they could have waited and taken him? Or traded down again? How do you know what happened? You've been in the draft room before.
Yes, I have.
Props for having been in the draft room. Were you in there last night?
I was not there last night.
Did you have a fly on the wall there last night?
No.
Then miss me with all this bullshit.
No. Okay, whatever. Okay, well,
then you don't know what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about.
No, you don't.
I know what I'm talking about. At 20, he was not going to go last night, Michael. He was not going to go.
Just because
he wasn't going to go. Nobody was going to draft him last night.
That's not the point of the exercise.
You've got 22 slots now after last night. So you've got 22 slots that you've got to hope that Cole Strange survives.
You got to hope.
But you also have capital where if you're not confident in those 22 slots, you can skip the line. Maybe you can get it up to 12 or 13.
You make it sound like you just know that they could have done this or they should have done this.
Yeah, I'm just sorry.
You're just making it all up.
I'm not making it all up. I'm just using
I'll ask you again.
I'm just using my experience and my knowledge. I'm not going to make myself small for this conversation.
I'm not asking you to make yourself small.
I'm not going to pretend.
I'm asking you not to talk out your ass.
I'm not talking.
For once.
I'm not. I'm not. This is all.
I'll ask you again.
This is all based on my experience.
Right.
This is based on experience.
With last night?
Not last night.
Well, then
okay, but Michael,
I'm sorry.
Okay,
I can't.
All right.
I can't dignify that.
But you don't have to.
You
don't have to dignify it. But you're being.
You asked me to dignify it when you suggested.
But you're being silly.
I'm being silly.
You're being silly. Do you think you are? Do you think
I'm being silly?
Do you think Okonwu was the top player on Carolina's board? Like, I mean, some stuff is just obvious, Michael. You don't have to have like.
Hey man. One guy picked at 6. One team picked at 29. So the best player at 29 is different than the best player at 6.
So okay, wait a minute.
Newsflash.
Right.
It's much easier to count to 6 than it is to 29.
So wait a minute. Okay, so we got a breakthrough here.
And even then, I haven't seen their board.
Even though you weren't in there last night at 6, you're willing.
I'm saying it's
so where's the cutoff?
I'm saying.
Let me know what the cutoff is. Is it 10? Is it 15?
Is it 20? It's a much shorter leap to 6 than it is to 29.
But you're comfortable saying it is 6.
And you also, no, I'm not comfortable saying anything.
Okay.
I'm saying that assume
was
that
Trayvon Walker the number 1 player on Jacksonville?
Clearly. Because they picked first. That's how math works.
How do you know that?
That's how math works.
How do you know?
Because that's how math works.
So then, okay, we can do it at 1, but you can't do it at 2.
You being loud don't make you right,
No, I'm being passionate.
You being histrionic that doesn't make you right.
I'm passionate. I talk like this.
You're passionately wrong.
This is how I talk.
You're passionately wrong.
I'm not getting loud. I can get louder.
You're passionately wrong.
This is passion.
It's like you get dug in. Like, how many times you got to be like loud and wrong just with me? You've been so wrong. Okay, your experience. In my experience with you over the last year, you have missed on so many things when it comes to the draft.
Like the Pelicans? What have I missed on?
You want to change sports?
What have I missed on?
You want to change sports?
What have I missed on? Okay.
I told you earlier, I was so glad that we have an all draft special.
Yeah,
so I only had to eat a small helping of crow when it came to the NBA.
Like,
who else got eliminated? Pelicans, shout out to the Sixers, getting rid of the Raptors. I was wrong about that.
Okay.
And who else went out last night?
But that's the
point.
That's the point. Utah.
But
all right.
But thankfully this was a draft show today.
But that's the point of these shows. You gotta give an opinion.
Michael, I don't need you to tell me how to give an opinion. I've been giving an opinion on national television for the last 20 years.
Then you ain't got to cuss about it.
No, I'm
either.
just saying, but don't say you got to give an opinion.
You said just because I'm loud.
Because your opinion is trash.
No,
don't suggest that I'm not giving an opinion. Here's another thing. I'm much better at giving an opinion than you are.
Okay. Oh, now we got.
So let's just put that out there. Let's just put that out. You have to have an opinion.
Now the gloves are
my
on.
opinion don't have to be trash.
Okay.
I'm sorry if I don't want mine to be trash.
Okay. Well, if you can't even figure out who was the number 1 player on the board. Who else? How about the Giants? Who was number 1 on their board?
You would go undrafted right now. You're Mr. Irrelevant as we speak, maybe.
Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.